Hey everybody, so today what I'm doing is I'm going to take and I'm going to show what I believe to be the most important bushcraft survival techniques, and that is fire making by friction fire, hand drill and bow drill. The reason why I say they're the most important to me is because if you get lost in the wilderness, you can't always come up with you can find flint, you can find quartz to strike out on a piece of steel, but you don't always have a piece of steel which has to be hardened steel in order to make a spark, and in order to light up some kind of a tinder. With friction fires, everything's there naturally. You can use a stone, sharp stone, to chop your branches, to do your whittling, do your cutting. You've got trees somewhere, and it's just a matter of finding the right combination of trees, which, sometimes it takes a little bit of time. It's got to be all dead stuff. But however, those to me are the most important, because if you're out there in the woods or out in the bush somewhere and you get lost, you need fire. You need fire to take in to boil your water. You need fire to cook your food. You need fire to keep warm at night. And also to protect you from predators during the night. So fire is a very important thing to do, and it takes a lot of energy this way to make fire. However, you can make it. It's not as hard as it looks. So let's get back to this then. So the first thing I do is I'm using, which is a yucca stalk from a yucca plant, and that's what I use for my bow drill spindle. For my hand drill spindle, I use mullein, which is a wild plant that grows around mostly all North America. It has a lot of good properties to it. You need to read up on that a little bit, maybe watch some YouTube videos on it. But I use a nice straight mullein stalk. It works out real well. And cedar is my favorite wood to take and to use as a hearthboard. You can use all the different kinds, box elder. You can use cottonwood. There's many, basswood. Anything that's soft that you can put your finger into is a good wood to use. Same with the soft spindle that has a pithy center is good. You can use cedar on cedar. You'll find the right combination. And the thing that you really want to look for is when you're starting to burn in, as you'll see, you get a fine powder. If you get big chunks, that's not what you want. You want a real fine, almost like a pepper powder, and that makes a good fire, good for fire starting. So anyhow, the first process is, of course, is to take your spindle, and I've already cut the end sharp there, and I already have this rounded up. You can do both, both ends if you want. I've just already have this one prepared for my holder. This is for my spindle holder. I just got a penny that I bent into a piece of wood, and I can hold that for a block. So when I'm spinning, you got to have something, some kind of hand hold there, and that's what I use. So anyhow, the first thing you want to do is you want to come in midsection, and you want to start making a hole. And you want to kind of elongate that hole a little bit, just so that your spindle can start fitting in here, like this. Then you want to take and you want to get the sharp end of your spindle, because you want to start out there, and it's going to round off a bit. Get it started. You don't want this too tight. You don't want it too loose, because if it gets too loose, you can always squeeze this and tighten up some. Once you get the bow and the spindle in the bow, then you get yourself a hand hold. Put your foot down like so that way you got something, to brace your hearthboard with. Let me get this back in here again now. And what we're going to do is we're just going to do a burn in. Not a whole lot of pressure. All you basically want to do is just keep it nice and steady. Use your knee to take into embrace it a little bit. And nice long strokes, like I said. And eventually what you'll start doing is you'll start getting some fire. Now, I like to go with this a little bit. Just enough to take it to get a, pretty good groove going here. After you get that, like I said, there's fine powder. And then I use just a serrated saw off of a knife like so. You can use your knife, you can use a stone, anything you want. But what you want to do is you want to cut a notch in here. And you want that notch to be wide enough to allow stuff to go down it and go out of it.
but not too, you don't want to go down here too deep where your spindle keeps popping out. So sometimes finding this right avenue is a little bit tricky. With practice you'll get it. I also like to come into somewhat into the center of this hole here, because you need to take it, the powder needs to go out of here and goes down inside. I also bevel my edge down here to give it a wider bottom just for collection. And once you get that done, get yourself a piece of bark, a leaf. I've even used cardboard, aluminum foil, whatever you can use, and that's just so that you can take and have something to collect your coal with. You need this tool. I'm using jute tinder bundle. You can use natural stuff, grasses, pine needles, leaves, anything that will take and make a tinder bundle, or even a natural bird's nest. You can use a nest from a bird. So then what you do is, after you get your notch cut, you start over again. What you want to do is the same thing. You want to get it going, and if you're watching that groove, you'll see your powder starting to collect. It's a nice long strokes, not a whole lot of pressure. Once the smoke's starting to go, then you want to build up a little more speed. And eventually, when you stop, you'll get this powder, and it'll be burning. Okay? This is your coal. If you can see it is starting to cool there. Give that a little bit of time to take and to build up. You know, you want a nice coal going. Once you think you got yourself a nice coal, dump it in your tinder bundle, fold it over, and gently blow. Until you get flame. And the same thing goes with a bow drill. You take and get yourself a hand drill, except for you're using your hands. There's nothing else. If you're worried about a string, you can make man-made strings out of weeds. I bet everybody always wears a pair of shoes. Shoelaces work real good. Just got to find yourself a bent stick, and you can make yourself a drill. And then just work with this until you get your, of course you want your fire ready to go here first. So that's it. That's the bow drill. And then I'll show you a demonstration of the hand drill. And like I said, I use Mullen for that. And I'll give you a name of a fellow that gets a very good description of how the process is, how to take and to use the hand drill. So that's all then. Have a good day.